So it is only natural that Moon Studios are working hard to update and to keep everything on track with no rest for the wicked. I was actually going to post a build today focused on pairing, and this patch right here, it was just real bad news for me because that build, it was a pairing build, and what do you know, they nerfed pairing. But we'll get into that a little bit later on. I think that this little bit of a hotfix that we have right here, it's quite relevant. I think that it has good things. The first and foremost, the thing that they address in this hotfix right here is a performance improvement that happened with the GPU leak. And this is very much needed because I was actually noticing that sometimes when I was getting like 30 FPS on some area, 30 FPSs, low 30 FPSs, it was because my card was just using like 50% of the total usage of the card, so that is very nice. Now you don't see that much of a loosen FPS because of a leakage on your GPU. But the thing is that even then, they still need to address the performance of the game, because I don't think that a game, like, don't get me wrong, I love how the game looks, but even though that I love how the game looks, it doesn't necessarily mean that it has like the graphical quality, the graphical capability that to be using like 100% of a 4080 to sometimes keep you like in between 50 to 60s. I'm thinking that it should give you more, so they still need to improve the performance, but it is nice that at least we got rid of that leakage right there. Now there's a change in bounties and challenges, and this is very welcome as well. One of them is that the bounties and challenges no longer get deleted if you choose to abandon them. Like for example, previously, if you were doing let's say a bounty and you were looking for someone, you couldn't find them, and then you decided that you want to look for something else, you would be locked into that one until you completed it. Now, if you want to take a breather out of one bounty, out of one challenge, the challenge, and you can just abandon it and come back later so that you can complete it later on, and then it's going to refresh at the next day with the next daily. So that's actually quite nice. And then there's also added confirmation to abandon challenges and such. Now, this is the one that's really interesting, and this is why it affected my build that I'm still going to upload tomorrow. Parrying, it's still very much overpowered, but they adjusted the damage and parry enchantments, so now they deal less damage. It's strange, you know, you should always feel that parrying should be something very, very much rewarding, and parrying in No Rest for the Wicked per se on itself, the mechanic on itself, without adding something to it, it's actually kind of meh. It really is not worth it. Parrying in No Rest for the Wicked, it doesn't give you anything for your time, effort, and skill in learning the movesets of those very specific enemies. That is not true. Actually, the thing is that you have to build it. It's a weird kind of decision or choice for development, for a mechanic decision, where for you to have something meaningful to your parry, you first have to build it. You cannot have it natively, and that is basically what it is. So let me give you, for example, I'll just give you a brief down spoiler alert of the build that we're going to have for tomorrow. If you add magic damage to your weapon, to your shields, to your gloves, to your rings, all of them, they stack, and you can, for example, achieve like 150 and something damage in just one shot something, or at least you would be able to. Prior to the patch, I was able to enter into the endgame and fight the big elite enemies, and just out of one parry, I would kill them all. And why did they nerf this? It was a little bit of overpowered if you think about it, because the purpose of the builds that I'm going to have for you tomorrow is basically that. But it also, remember that you can have different enchantments that give you bonuses on parrying. So for example, immediately gain 100% of your focus points while you're parrying, or heal yourself for like 30% of your health on parry. So essentially on parrying, you are killing, one-shotting things, and then you immediately get your focus points back, and then you're healing back, and so it does actually sound quite a bit overpowered, but still, it feels bad. I do know that now when you think about it like that, and once you see the builds on proper showcase tomorrow, it actually does feels like it was a little bit overpowered, and that it needed a little bit of a tweak down. But boy, does it always feels bad whenever there's something that you're enjoying, because it's just so overpowered. It is what it is, I guess. And then finally, they adjusted loot drop rates from chests, and I'm guessing that to get more goodies, I'm hoping at the very least. And then they added more furniture to the Whitaker's shop. And then there's a whole bunch of bug fixes that you can see right there. But the highlights of the patch notes of the hotfix, and why I wanted to cover this little thing, it was because I think that it was very, very much meaningful, the thing about the GPU leak, which is very welcomed, of course, but also the one from the parrying. I do not think that they nerfed it to the ground so that it feels useless. I'm still trying it, I'm still tweaking that build, I'm still making it workable, feel good. But yeah, it's not as good as it used to be. So there's that. If you like the content, like the super appreciated, nostalgia day, you're a gorgeous and beautiful person, you're a gorgeous and beautiful person. Have a lovely, lovely day. Goodbye.